Yo, David Winsands, could you read me a bedtime story, please, huh, please? Alright, you kids, get to bed, I'll get the storybook. Y'all tucked in? Yes. Here we go. Once upon a time, not long ago, niggas wore Kangos and lived life slow. We lost the stern and justice stood, and people were behaving like they ought to good. There was a little boy who was misled by another little boy, and this is what he said. Check it, me and you tonight gonna make some cash, robbing old folks and making a dash. They did the job, cream came with ease, but one couldn't stop it like he had a disease. He stick another and another, and a sister and a brother. Tried to rob a guy who was a DT undercover. The cop grabbed his arm and started acting erratic and said, "Keep still, son, no need for static." Punched him in his belly, gave him a slap, but he didn't know that little Joe was strapped. He pulled out the gat and said, "Why'd you hit me?" And points the knife straight at the cop's kidney. The pig got scared, the kid didn't figure how many years if I pulled this trigger. So he cold dashed to run up the block, cop radios into another lady cop. Ran by a tree, saw his sister, shot for the head, shot back but missed her. Looked around, gun informed expectation. He decided he'd jet for the subway station, but what? She was coming and he made a left. He was running top speed till he was out of breath. Knocked an old man down and swore he killed it. Then made his way to an abandoned building. Ran up the stairs to the top floor. Opened the door, there guess who we saw? Dave, the dope fiend shooting dope that don't know the meaning of walking on soap. He said, "I need bullets, hurry up, run." The dope fiend came back with a submachine gun. Ran outside, but there was Jake all over. So he jumped to a car, a stolen Nova. He stuck the block 283. I'm out, crashed into a tree and university. Escaped alive, though the car was battered. Rat-a-tat-tatted and all the cops scattered. Ran out of rounds, but still had static. Grabbed the pregnant lady and out the automatic. Pointed out ahead, his head, the gun was for the lady. Told the pigs, "Back off, or this bitch is dead." Deep in his heart, he knew it was wrong, so he let it go and starts to run on. Sirens sounded, he seemed astounded, and before long, the little boy got surrounded. He dropped his gun, so went the glory, and this is the way I have to end the story. He was just 17 and a man-made dream. His pig shot him dead like a dog in the street. This ain't funny, so don't dare laugh. Just another case about the wrong path. Straight and narrow, or your soul gets cast. You jive turkeys don't hear me though. Good night. Another. That's right. David Winsands presentation. It takes two to make the thing go right. Crumbs. It takes two to make it out of sight. Knock what the box red. It takes two to make the thing go right. It takes two to make it out of sight. Y'all don't hear me though.
Fear is a thief. It robs great men of their great destinies. The man who will conquer is the one who will not be afraid. Fear has a platform that holds it up, and the platform for fear is selfishness. If there is no selfishness, there can be no fear. But wherever you locate fear, you locate selfishness. And fear is expressed
we act
a lot
really
of times
like
through
a robot
anger.
in every situation, as long as we're functioning according to that program. Because we may think that we are choosing to do certain things, but we can't choose outside of those parameters of going towards pleasure and avoiding pain. And everything that we do is done for an egoistic reason, and it doesn't matter how it looks on the outside. The degree to which our egoism controls the events in our lives is, well, it's evident. Just look at the world and you'll see the kind of relationships that people have with each other. They look very nice on the outside, but what's really happening is that any kind of giving, anything that appears to be an altruistic act, is really always a calculation for self-satisfaction. So even giving great amounts of money.
They were never saved because he never knew them. And watch this. The ones he never knew, he tells them, "Depart from me, you who I never knew, who practice lawlessness." Traditional, I like it just as much. "O ye workers of," not sin, not transgression, but iniquity. Jesus says that the ones he never knew, the were never saved. He said they practice lawlessness, they work iniquity. Now, are you kind of understanding what I mean when I say that a Christian cannot
In the effort, therefore,
sin?
to cater forever to self, we sacrifice others and their happiness and their rights to our own desires. Where we know this temperament and this characteristic is strong in us, we have no right to create families, because the individual who does not have the natural instinct to give of himself for that which he loves has no basis for marriage or parenthood. And as our generation is taught selfishness and is taught the importance of keeping mind largely upon self in the name of success, we are training people to be bad husbands and wives. We are training them to overlook their basic natural instincts
nervous.
and take on an assumed
and I'm
and
not paranoid
false
because
combativeness.
this stuff is true. There is a whole secret world that is kept hidden from us that makes everything make sense, and I understand it, more or less. And it's my mission to help you understand it too. You see, in the ancient text of the Sumerians, they talk about the Anunnaki, lizard beings that descend from the sky. That terrifies me, and it should terrify the hell out of you. Hold on. Back to the truth seeker line.
Yeah, I did like you said on the last show. I've been doing them prepper Kegel exercises so I can store rations in my ass once the abduction comes. At this particular juncture, in my ass, I got a pound of rice, 2 energy bars, a commemorative plate, a tiny saw, a deck of cards, an itty-bitty radio, some loose change, a prophylactic, a masonry bit, a first aid kit, a nudie magazine, a carton of cigarettes, some chewing tobacco, a copy of my medical records, and a mammogram pillow. Cause I'll be damned if I'm gonna sleep on the cold
Duke
hard
University,
cell
the
floor.
world's
That's
first
great work.
microwave invisibility device. It'll make an object invisible to microwaves, and we went to Berkeley, where they can actually now do it for visible light. Now there is a problem. If you are inside an invisibility cloak, you cannot see outside. It's only a one-way trip. Therefore, if you are inside the invisibility cloak, you need to punch 2 eyeballs so you can see outside. So remember that metamaterials allows us to bend microwave radiations around an object, just like water flows around a boulder. If you were downstream from a boulder, you don't know that there is a boulder upstream. That works for microwaves, and it works for visible light
What evolution
as well.
is, it's natural selection. And literally what it means is that in any population of living organisms, you're going to have some variation. And variation just means there's just some change. And what natural selection is this process that sometimes environmental factors will select for a certain variation. Some variations might not matter at all, but some variations matter a lot. One example that's given in every biology book, peppered moth, and this was, in pre-industrial revolution England.
So on this new
moths
layer, I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you a brief about what you can do to kind of get in the mindset of creating animated characters. And in terms of the brushes that I'll be using throughout the course, I'll be using 2 of the basic brushes, and that's the hard edge brush and the soft edge brush. And I'm going to keep it very basic to show you guys how you don't need a lot of texture brushes for this kind of a look. So to start off, I'm just going to grab my basic circle hard edge brush, but this one has shape dynamics turned on. So if you open your brush menu from your window, having my shape dynamics turned on gives me the ability to push harder on the tablet, which will give me more of that circumference of the circle. And as I get started, the one thing that I'm going to keep
With
reinforcing
strawberry
is the
and
idea
whipped
of
cream on top, saying it's strawberry shortcake, and we eat it, knowing it's crap, telling ourselves it's strawberry shortcake. Who walked, who turned to wine, gave sight to the blind and the senses prepared inside the first 39 of the sword, the Mozart minds and acts outline connection before collapse and ways of reason connection by trading my dirt for his deflection. Deception, that's the only way to heaven, so we're trapped. This horrid fact got trillions who serve their all their life to reside in hell, burning in hell. More died, this perfect man given more died. This who gave Satan dominion, but Jah foreknew this trap in his wisdom created a bloodshed atonement. Says the law that was impossible to keep. It was impossible. Constant atonement I need until the fulfillment of prophecy. Christ, Orion's belt will follow east, heat hill, reveal truth, teach, and in the language of branches speak on how God's kingdom then reach living water, sweet bread of life to eat. No gates to allow, sides cover the streets, so outside the crowd of people who wanna be straight. God's commanding the OT with murder gave some men say as racism, but he's the creator, which means just the clay but say is created. Christ died on the cross for praise and praise. We ride his cock in the maze that on the surface is unbelievable, like a bad con artist. Genius, the more you learn, the less it seems true. You resist out the Bible, you receive when you doubt logic of reason. That's what he is, you the wise. Close your eyes to believe with your eyes. If the Bible defines it, pays the image of God is a murderer, racist, tyrant. But if the Bible is crafted spiritually, no one's got my back. And that thought banks drill is hard to test, cause I can't accept it if I know it's got serious. Won't even have the chance to say yes or no, get judged for that. Love God my way or fry in hell for my way. Punishments in this life as well. When the scriptures were written, they had no clue of the billions of years that dinosaurs exist. Get it? Definitely the consequence for sinning. This Jah established before the beginning. Men about the different gods because Jah this time kept himself hidden. Judgment came from worshipping idols because it didn't uplift him. Most would give their life willing, lead to save others and get no glory. But Christ made the system, lived and died as the main subject. The side of the story, he made everything to praise him, a blazing, consuming flame that hates in human nature. Makes him hate Genesis, revelation, and murder, innocent men, murder, babies, the Lord increased sin greatly. This is the reason why you should praise the author and finisher of creation. Jealousy, wrath, etc. are evil, but when God does, it's okay. It's cool, he does it. Seek it, his mercy and grace. Wisdom makes no mistakes, with freedom, a choice in a way when he makes sure the outcome of the dice roll that we shake. Bible miracles sound great, in people's real life they just ain't. Only happens in Gotham tape, and the stuff that's made to increase your faith. Son, I don't know why your manifestation ain't come. Know the date, see Jah sovereign. Jah is made, just wait and get no answer to your problem, but it exists, even if it don't. That's the best explanation I can give. A dad only gives gift to a child to receive glory because that's his style. The murderer have killed the proof of the point. Righteous and evil, heal the anoint. First gay marriage, gay death to exist after sitting back to its original intent. On the outside, it sounds like lies mixed with poo, but it's the good news and it's actually true. Praise the King of Kings. Live by the way I say live by, because everyone else who ain't living by it is definitely false. Those who accept a different or serve God or love God any way you want, read the Bible, translate it the way I tell you, which is the way others told me how to translate it. The bottom line, if you ain't doing what I say to do, you going to hell. Don't ask questions that lead to maybes. You gotta understand the gospel is a business, sending you dreams and services. It may look like we in last place getting lapped by those in one position ahead of us, but we are winners. Looks are deceiving. Don't follow perception. It's not like those other cults, atheism.
Revelation 20. John 14:6.
2 Corinthians 6.
Matthew 6 verse 33.
Philippians 2.
2 Corinthians 5 verse 7.
See, what you need to understand is John 1:15-17. I study this.
1 Corinthians 1.
And the studies I put into it make me a guru. So I'm imparting to you great wisdom that you should be listening to, observing. Matthew